Here's another late development, and this news keeps coming in as we're talking here.
Welcome. Hey, how you guys doing? We are back for another episode of the Books and Beyond Male Book Club. As always, I'm joined by JB Black and a celebrity fitness instructor. You feel me? Shay's in the building. One of our four horsemen is down. He'll be catching up with us a little bit later. But how you guys doing? I think this is not the first episode of the new year, is it? No.
We did one directly after the New Year.
Yeah. We did.
Second.
Yeah. That bonus.
That's why we had 4 to 7. You can't just be skipping chapters without.
Look, see, Black doesn't just want to accept that. Hey, I asked the question, and then he just throws the book at me. So that's why people don't ask questions around Black, because he be throwing the book at people. But we out here. We're reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. We're gonna be reviewing chapters 4 to 7 today. But before we jump into that, we had our first attack on the U.S. Capitol since 1812, when it burnt down for the first time.
The White House and all that too, though.
For the first time in a long time. Just to give you guys a little bit of capture, we had the U.S. Capitol was stormed by a bunch of Trump terrorist sympathizers. This was a mostly white group, a right-wing white group. 5 people in total have died, including 1 officer. I spoke to 2 of my friends in the Secret Service, and I spoke to 2 of my friends who worked at the Capitol. About 20 officers at the building are being held and are being arrested and being held for questioning. And about 15 people altogether were injured who were staffers. So it was a pretty hectic moment. It lasted about 6 hours, and you just had to sit there. You just had to see it in the moment. We live streamed it on the Identity Booth podcast, but it was pretty surreal to see. It was something we all knew was going to happen. But Black, from a military standpoint, like, we spent $87 billion on defense. Like, could something like this have ever happened overseas? How did this happen just from a security standpoint? Like, I don't know anything past, local law enforcement. So to see this happen on this scale, and you being a military expert, like, I just want to know, like, what were your thoughts when you saw this going down?
Honestly, bro, I was just listening to that shit that everybody at work was like, kept asking, like, yeah, you see what's going on? I'm like, yeah, I see that crazy ass shit, but it's white people. But I knew about it ahead of time, because whoever leading the Proud Boys said it, and then, Trump, dumbass, was a month before it said, be there January 6th and be wild. That's what he said. And then Proud Boys guy, I don't even know the leader name, but he was like, we're going to be there and we're going to do whatever we got to do. And I know they carry guns everywhere they go, so it's like, you knew they was going to be up to something. So it wasn't like it was a surprise. And Black Lives Matter say they basically, but they are requesting, like, yeah, we'll be marching so, peace protests. And they had the whole National Guard there. But like you said, overseas, if you approach any one of those buildings on bullshit, they shoot you. They gas you. Like, they don't play that shit overseas, bro. Nowhere overseas. Like, you coming at them, they're going to come at you with the full force of their military, whoever's around. They be running people over with tanks, all type of crazy ass shit in other countries.
That's crazy. So then, Shay, I gotta know, what was your thought when you saw what was going on? Like, what did you have any visceral reaction? Just like, what was it?
Yeah. So when I first saw it, I was not surprised. But of course, like most people, it was like, how do you let this happen? And when they started getting into the Capitol building, I was like, yeah, there's no reason why it got this far. Like, you guys,
they let them in.
You let them in, and like, there's this clip that I saw where it was maybe 3 or 4 police officers, and like there was a crowd of people trying to rush the fence, right? And then they were going back and forth, they were pushing, and then they started the terrorists started hitting the police officers, like throwing punches. And at this point, I'm like, you're throwing punches at a police officer and you don't even fear that this police officer is going to air you out. Like, that is white privilege at its greatest level right there, because there is no way a black man is going to throw a punch at a white police officer and feel like, oh, this dude is not going to shoot me right now. You know what I'm saying? So when I was watching, I was dumbfounded. Like, so when people say, oh, well, my first thought was when these police officers say, I was scared for my life, so I shot this dude 18 times in the chest. I'm like, that can't be true, because we've seen you guys be fearful and shoot one round or not shoot at all, or just, you guys can show that you're not this overly aggressive group of people when you want to be, when you choose to be. So that was my thought. Like, I just kept on relating it back to when Black Lives Matter protest and when black people do anything at all, and just kind of like the aggression that we're met with right off the jump, and how like these people were not met with that same type of energy. It's two different Americas. It was clear and blatant and very obvious that there are two different Americas and two different rules based on the color of your skin.
JB, there's actually a physician. There's a physician right now who's been arrested at our hospital because he was at the protest. And it just speaks to the type of people that were there. There were lawyers there, legislators. How would you feel? You work at a big company. How would you feel if someone in the upper echelons of your company was being escorted out by FBI because they were at that protest? What would have been your feelings on that?
Hey man, we weeding out the bad apples. Keep showing y'all face. I want to know what y'all look like. I want to know who y'all are.
JB said he likes his races loud. So what did you feel about it?
I like them loud. I like to know where my enemies stand at. And we was reading an article. It was like a busload of people from Bloomington that went over there. So I hope they find who y'all are and pull y'all out. While this was all going on, it's funny. My parents called me today. They tell me what was going on. And my initial reaction was, I don't give a damn. I don't care at all. I was let them burn each other down. Like, I don't care. Cause at the end of the day, this is something that Trump set up. Like Shay said, they let him in. Like, go ahead. Like, hey, keep showing y'all ass. That's how I'm looking. Like, keep showing y'all ass, cause that's how you fix a problem. You see how upset they are about what's going on, and like, you continually make our point for us. Like, it's not like we want them shot. We just want the same treatment. If we was to rush the Capitol, don't shoot us. Would y'all do that? No,
absolutely not.
And that's the irony behind all of it.
It was white supremacy versus the U.S. system, which is like y'all both one in the same. So whoever wins, that's just one less person I got to worry about. So I saw a great tweet where somebody was like, "Hey, black people, this ain't our fight. Let them fight."
Hey, y'all see the dude that was in there with that red hat on?
Oh, that brother looking for a stimulus check.
So that's what. So he posted that. He's like, I was only there for my stimulus check. I ain't know what the fuck the other people.
I see some shit going on. I'm just joining it. That's not niggas do. Like,
y'all going in the building? What they got in the building? They got food? Y'all lied. There ain't no damn food in here.
He just looking around and shit.
He said there's too many white people.
One of the cats that worked in there was like, it had to be an inside thing because they knew where my office was, and if anybody ever been to my office is one of the hardest offices to find in the building. On Roll One show, he was like, the way it is his name would be somewhere like on the door, but that's not where his office would be. He said the people came straight to where all the employees work there and knew exactly where he would be.
What do you think is a suitable punishment? Like, once upon a time, pulling down a Confederate statue was a 10-year sentence. You think everybody in this situation deserves 10 years?
You see what Shaq said, right? He said we got a lot of people from our community that's at their ends and they end up dealing drugs, and it's not what they call those offenses where you want to get hurt or nobody, non-violent offenses. And they getting 25 life, so I'm expecting everybody to get 25 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I saw a post that said people who were rioting in Ferguson, Some people got as high as 8 years. So I feel like that's the bare minimum. If somebody that was at Ferguson protesting because of a death got 8 years, that should be the bare minimum for the folks that stormed the Capitol. This is like the Capitol is. This is a big deal. This not.
It's the third most secure. It's the third most secure building in the country.
Exactly.
So no, but
I know how much.
So treason is death, right?
Yeah.
So
and they technically really terrorists. Technically,
yeah.
No, there's no technical. They are terrorists, domestic terrorists by definition.
And by if you go by, I know Black, you don't really rock with Brandon Marshall, but I was watching him and he was like talking about when he was going through, like when he was trying to get some bills passed for, I guess, mental health, and he had to go into the Capitol building. He was talking about how protected it is. He's like that, like that's just so crazy to me. You know, he's like, I'm somebody that they actually want there. And all the things I got to go through to get in.
No, he's somebody they think they want there. They don't want you there, bro. Like they don't want
that he was trying to get past. Like he had
I'm
lead
just
in
saying,
that.
yeah. No, but I'm saying like who he is as like football players are not that, that famous, especially to white people. Like they love football, they love the quarterbacks, a few receivers and shit like that. Just like basketball, if you ain't the top basketball player, if your ass is Tristan Thomas coming in there. Trump ain't trying to see Tristan Thomas. Like,
are you famous? You can't help my numbers. Goodbye.
Yeah, right. Get up out of here.
Bye. All right. Well,
ridiculous, bro.
I mean, that's pretty much it. That's our perspective.
How stupid this country is, because that many people really believe that the election was either rigged or they just don't like the direction of the country so much and think it affects them so bad.
White people can't handle it. They can't
asked him a question. They was like, so did like one of the guys saying that they didn't vote. They was like, yeah, why would I vote if I knew it was gonna be fraud? I was like, what? That's why you lost, because a lot of y'all dumbass just ain't
exactly.
That's how Black people used to vote.
Yeah, exactly. And then we figured out like, oh shit. Damn,
now
we got
Black people still vote though. Like, I mean, used to, yeah, but we still have that percentage of people who are so woke who feel like there's no point in voting because the voting ain't gonna do nothing.
Woke 2.0. Right? There's a lot of them that went to TF North, and
it's
I be looking at
their
ass.
Went to TF North, man.
I'm looking at their ass. Bro,
you know, all they're doing is trying to make sure that the 5Gs go everywhere, and then once they're everywhere, your vote won't matter. And I'm just like,
that's where the corona came from.
Yeah, that's where corona came from.
Bro, hey, look, did y'all see that? I can't think. It was the last place that Trump spoke at. They had a guy that get up there and was like, hey, corona's a hoax. Take off your mask and hug your neighbor. Hug somebody you don't know. I was like, what?
Like, I feel like people like, so, and then another thing that happened, so all his people been banned off of Twitter and Facebook and TikTok, and I just think it's hilarious.
And postmarks and all type of shit.
Yeah, I just thought it was hilarious that this man got removed from TikTok and he didn't even have an account. Like, they tried to kick TikTok out of the country, and they were like, nah, we're gonna call our big brothers and sisters and get you banned from everything.
Yep. So I love to see it though, G. No lie, I love to see it. I have a question for you guys though.
But I do I like that Trump. I love that Trump had a Twitter though. I'd rather him, be able to keep talking this nonsense so people can either see. Because now where he gonna talk his shit at? He gonna be on NBC a lot now.
He gonna be on Parler.
Right. He just needs to disappear into the abyss. Honestly, that's what I hope. I hope like after this.
Nah, that ain't Trump. You
get his
Trump
ass out of here, G.
He made me not want to watch the Rugrats. I mean the Little Rascals.
G.
He's in the real or Home Alone. He in that shit too.
He in the Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince is my favorite show. When I saw him on that other day, I was like, damn. Like I don't even want to watch the Fresh Prince no more, G. Like
I don't think he on the Cosby, so I'm cool. or Martin and that. Living single.
I have a question for you guys though.
Yo,
I saw this on Twitter, and I got in a little debate about it. You guys know Jemele Hill. You guys follow sports. Jemele Hill, she's a broadcaster.
I like
she's doing her own thing right now. She made a tweet saying that all of this is because a Black man was our president, and I agreed with her. I'm like, I feel like we had Obama, and then Trump was kind of like a response to Obama. People was like,
Yeah, they've
"Oh
been
my
saying that,
God, I
though.
want to go way left,"
Yeah.
and then I feel like, or way right, and then that's kind of how we got to where we're at right now.
Yeah.
You guys agree
They've
with
been
that?
saying
You guys
that,
not?
though. Yeah, they've been
100%.
saying that.
Yeah.
White people, white people in America specifically have no culture. Their culture is surrounded around destruction and death and taking from others. They left the kingdom because they were being oppressed. They got to this new land and said, well, shit, we don't know what to do, so we're going to oppress other people because that's all we learned. We go, and it was like, oh, damn, we don't know how to cultivate this land. Let's go to a place where they can cultivate sand. All right, bring their ass over here. Hey, thanks for helping us out, but we're going to oppress you too because that's all we know. Then fast forward, a group of oppressed people will only become more defiant and stronger. They set the bar of entry so fucking high. You got to be registered to vote. You got to be this. You got to live in this area. You got to come vote at this specific time. We did all their rat race and we beat them at their game. And for the first time in their lives, in their collective generational life, they're poor, they're unsuccessful, and they're watching black people on TV. And they have to say to themselves, why isn't that me? The only form of oppression they've ever had is not being told that they could oppress. And now that they are told that their greatest power is being taken away, they need to find a way of getting it back. So absolutely, this is a response of Obama. But more importantly, this is a response to not having a culture outside of destruction.
I agree with that.
But
absolutely.
That was a story. That was a thing. You got 4 black men's take on a bunch of white people being upset about an election. Enjoy yourself.
This what is this? The third election? The third election. Bro, they taking L's. Can't take it.
Can't take it.
Man, y'all done lost the House, the Senate, the presidential seat.
Trump people don't know it. Trump has a special power. His power is to decay. Anything that man touches, he destroys.
Before the man even fucking got any votes, he said, "If I lose, it was
rigged. Right. If I win, it's gonna be about a landslide."
Yeah. That don't make sense.
He keeps saying, "Hey, the funny thing about Georgia, right? So look, Georgia had to wait for their mail-in ballots, even though the mail-in ballots came in first.
Yeah,
so technically, we got the results backwards.
Yeah.
We'd have been knew that fucking Biden
that Trump
won.
was out. Yeah. And that's something they should change, though. I feel like if you guys
the electoral college needs to be deleted. There's no way the last 7 years the popular vote hasn't dictated who the president is going to be. The electoral college was designed back in the day when people in fucking Mobile, Alabama couldn't be reached in time for all their ballots. The fact that we're voting in person is crazy. Why can't we vote via the email? I can get my medical records off from the email.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. It's crazy, but hey, we good. we ain't nobody black got shot on
exactly.
That day. So
exactly.
I'm cool.
We'll take it.
But we're gonna dive into this book. We're gonna start off with chapter 4. I really enjoyed this chapter because it kind of got into the insides, and I'm gonna have to reread this one again because I feel like this is where the bulk of the message comes from. There was so many little gems. The four keys to success were dropped in chapter 4. But just real quick, Shay, since you only got 2 chapters with you, I'll let you start this one. What was chapter 4 about to you?
So chapter 4, let's see. Let me go back and look a little bit. For me, because I read 1 through 5 this last week, so they all kind of blend together a little bit. So I'm just going to backtrack really quickly so I can give you guys some useful information. Talk overall because I'll probably talk about some stuff that you guys already discussed last podcast. So I really like this book. I like how he's giving both sides, and I think a mixture of both is definitely needed. I think as I was listening, I have to tell myself to be careful because you can listen to what he's saying and go way left with it and be like, education really isn't needed. Just like I feel like the key takeaway is get what you can from the system, from high school or from college, maybe.
Use what you need, not what you can.
Exactly.
Get what you need.
Yeah,
because a lot of that shit you don't need. That's why. That's why it's so.
I've yet
decent.
to use
We
Pythagorean
talked.
theorem.
We
I've
talked about
used
that
to.
last week, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like
At
this.
the last meeting, we talked about how you go to school and like especially college. In
Yeah.
order to learn what you need, what you want to work in, you have to learn all this extra shit that you would never use just to get a degree. Which like there's no reason to learn that shit. That's why I was saying that's why I like trade school better. Because when you go to trade school, you go to trade school for what you want to learn, what you need to learn, and that's it. You're not going to school to become a doctor, but you got to learn shit that don't have nothing to do.
Trigonometry.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense. But I think the thing that I learned most from college, honestly, and I think what for me at least, it was learning how to think critically, learning how to problem solve. And I feel like if you have those two skills, you can do anything you want in this world, right? Like if you can apply critical thinking, you can problem solve. You can do any type of blue collar, white collar job, right? But if you want to go into a trade, then yeah, go into a trade. If you want to be a plumber, plumbers make money. You don't necessarily need to go get a bachelor's degree if you want to be a plumber. But if you want to work in the business world, or if you want to work in a hospital, if you want to be like I'm working in healthcare analytics, right? So for me, I had to go and get certain levels of training, like certain technical certifications, right? Did I need to take anthropology 101? Hell no. Did I need to take psychology research? Like probably not. But
no, you definitely need that though.
Pick up school. I picked up skills, right? Like research, like taught me how to read something and how to like pull information that I need and then apply it, right? So there's useful things you learn in college. But to say that college is an end all be all, I agree with Rich Dad. Where it's like, you know what, like there are certain things there that there's certain things that you learn that is a waste of time. There's some things that you learn that's actually useful. I was actually talking to my wife about like assets and like buying more assets and stuff. And I bought a new car recently. So I was like, damn, did I spend too much on this car? Should I have put less money down so I could put this money elsewhere? And we had a funny conversation about like how I'm very frugal and I'm usually trying to make the best money, the best like decision for myself financially in the long run. And my wife is always like, you know what, like you're good with money, but it's okay to take care of yourself sometimes. You know, like it's okay to get this.
You got an LLC for your business, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Put that car.
Yeah, I've had that for a while. Yeah. I'm right.
Put that car on there. Put that gas on there.
Yeah. So LLC, I got a comment about that.
Go.
So look into the LLC. LLC is technically, and this is kind of what he's talking about, it's a limited liability corporation, limited partnership. So you're a partner to your company. So let's say, for instance, something happened and your business goes bankrupt. That's after your personal assets.
That's why you get your LLC listed to a separate address, like a PO box or something. So there's ways around that too with the corporation.
You got to do ways around that, or just go S corp, go S corp.
So like
because it's multiple. Right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So which one would you do?
Get into a partnership corporation.
Yeah. So if you were to start, when you would go C corp.
C corp.
But I mean, what are the pros and cons there?
Yeah.
I mean, they just.
I got a corporation for my security business.
That's really the only difference, is that a C corp, S corp, to set it up, it costs more. You have to set up like president and all that. I don't know what an LLC, because my mom's business, we went corporation. So like I'm like her secretary or something, but she just have to put people on the books, and then eventually.
I just got brought on as a board of directors for a C corp. So somebody was like, well,
you got to set all that stuff up.
You got to set that up. All right. And I like that idea of it, but like, let's talk a little bit about into the chapters, and they talk about the 3 types of assets that you can work off of, which is stocks, real estate, and hand-me-downs, basically. Now, there's 2 out of 3 there's 3. I'm 3 for 3 on this, because I've invested in stocks, and I'm out here teaching this class with my younger brother on how to be, financial literate in the market. Then we have real estate, which is I'm getting my real estate license here in the next month, and then hand-me-downs.
Hey,
Appreciate
are you already here, nigga?
No, I'll be there Friday.
I'm about to say you set your shit up pretty fast.
Exactly the same.
Oh, you using the motherfucking little Velcro stickies, huh?
Hey, just
Nigga ain't get no sleep.
but and then like, you know, from my people back home and just being able to say I have real estate across the ocean, that's a blessing on itself. What are your 3 assets that you guys are functioning right now? If y'all had to talk about assets you have, what are they?
I'm straight stocks right now. That's it. The straight stocks.
I got some shit I'm working
The
on.
market. I shouldn't say
Y'all pretty much
stocks,
see
market.
it. Yeah, y'all pretty much see what we're gonna be working on within the next.
Because
month.
I know that we've been steady talking about how we're gonna develop this, and I think like it has to be more than just this call. We have to like meet up after this call to talk about like, yo, what are we
you'll
trying
be
to
here.
do?
You'll be
So
here next week. We actually all of us can meet up.
I have a good one for you guys that I would not mind sharing this resource. So I'm part of a investment group. So I have an accountant. He does all of my taxes. And he's one of the more he's extremely intelligent when it comes to finances in general. So I don't know exactly what his job description is, but he does all things financial, right? So pretty much I have a group of, it's about 15 people. We started this investment group 3 years ago. So the guy, he has a minimum of $20,000 and a max of $100,000. And as a group, we brought together this finances. So let's say we just bring together $20,000. He guarantees 20% interest every year, right? And then every 6 months, he gives us the option if we want to reinvest our earnings or if we want to take away our earnings, right? So we came together and we put together $20,000 and it's just sitting there. And every year we get 20% interest. We divide it between the group based on how much you invested.
And y'all been doing it for 3 years?
We just got that running. No, it's a 6-month minimum. So if you do 6 months, he'll give you 10. It's 10% interest. If you do a year, it is 20% interest.
No, I'm saying how long y'all been doing it?
How long y'all?
We've been doing it for 3 years. We've been doing it for 3 years.
Okay.
So technically,
so y'all got 32.
Yeah.
Technically, he's a hedge fund investor.
He's a hedge fund
capital interest. That's really what I want to do.
Like Cal Barker from Live Single.
No, I want to be like the prophet, basically, where I take the money, the group invest in money. I'm investing in it, but I'm also taking these different businesses and helping them actually be a good business. You see so many businesses, like I could fix a lot of business models. I know what's wrong with them by looking at them really quickly, because I do it over and over and over and over again for State Farm with so many agencies, and you look at it. So like what the prophet does, people look at it and be like, that's so hard, but it's really not. You just have a lot of people that don't know anything about business running a great business, running a great business idea.
So, and I want to stick to that because we talk a lot about businesses and how he uses businesses to mind his own business. And part of minding your own business is understanding the history of tax. It's interesting when he told the history of tax, I had to Google this because I was like, bullshit. But the truth is, no.
It's true.
Taxes were really meant for the rich, and they do make people poor. They hurt the poor. The more you increase taxes, I couldn't believe it, and I was just like, but is this a amalgamation of the past? Because the top 1%.
That's why I fucking claim everything on my taxes.
You remember 50
I've been doing
Cent
that for
quote?
years.
You remember 50 Cent?
What'd he say?
When he was talking about like the taxes, like the tax breaks is not for, or the tax increase is not for the rich, and it's gonna hurt the poor the most, because I can move to wherever I want to. I can live in whatever state I want to live in. You can't.
Yep. And another thing that I got from the book that was very interesting. He was like, the rich, they find ways, they go out and they research how, and they find loopholes for taxes, right?
No, because they can afford to find a way.
They're like, you know what, I'm gonna pay it. But the rich, they're like, you know, I'm not paying that shit. What can I do to not pay that? Like they go out and they educate themselves, you know, and if they don't know the answers, they link up with people who know the answers. And I feel like that's one thing that I definitely want to do. And like even Jeremiah, you mentioned like LLCs versus S corps and C corps. I don't know much about S corps and C corps, but with my LLC, I can write off a lot. right?
Well,
So
with
Yeah,
any
yeah,
one of them, you can write
absolutely.
off everything. That's
yeah,
All
is the
of them
thing.
you can write off
But with your
everything that's
LLC,
went
make
through
sure
them.
your address is not listed to your home address, especially
Yeah,
when you buy your house,
yeah.
because then your house will be
your
you know,
house
Would be
is
connected with your
considered.
LLC.
got you.
So if they
Okay.
sue you,
Yep.
they can sue your homeowner's insurance too.
Got
So
it.
just make
Yep.
Okay,
sure they
okay.
got
I'm
that
I'm
shit
not
like
a
to a PO
homeowner
box.
yet, but I'm trying
Yeah.
to buy my first
But
place
you
this
about
year.
to get married, so now
Yeah,
you got to worry about her too. So now nigga get that shit separate.
yeah. Got to get it
Yeah.
separate. Definitely. I
I
will. I
think
will look into getting the PO box. I don't have one now, but that'd be definitely on my to do list for
Yeah.
the year.
I think something that also they speak about is the Fantastic Four, the four steps to increasing your wealth. You have to understand accounting, you have to understand investing, marketing, and the law. And these four things, if your understanding of at least three of them out of four will put you in a better situation. Accounting, just understanding the finite details. Investing is about knowing the market and understanding dynamics, and marketing is about understanding emotional hikes, what branding is, and things of that nature. And then the law, obviously not the law in itself, but understanding what the law, how the law is interpreted. Because just because you know the law doesn't mean you understand how it would be interpreted. So chapter 4 dropped a lot of that information on us, and then we moved to chapter 5. And the thing that stuck out to me in chapter 5 was the interview. Oh,
One
what's
thing
up?
before you go forward. So as you read this book, and as a lot of people read this book, one thing I think that he want a lot of people to recognize is when you become quote unquote middle class, and as I studied it a little bit more, once you get about 70K, and it's two of y'all income start to go up, like you can start to do a lot of these things as far as
Absolutely.
Yeah.
moving money as you read the book, a lot of people think, well, no, I can't do that or I can't do this. It is a minimum, like 70K, because I'm
I
an
think that's a
insurance guy.
great point, JB. I think that's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah,
There has to, like, if real talk, if you're starting off at, if you're 45K person, you're not going to be able to come in and start taking $2,000 a month out of your check. You're not going to be able to. I was looking into buying a truck because I was like, oh, I'm big as fuck. I need to get a big car. But then I was like, but wait a minute. Why? That my car is literally an asset now because I'm not paying for it and it's
Yeah.
getting me to point A, point B.
yeah,
Why do it? So you'll have to learn how to do those things. But I think that is super important. As I'm trying to buy buy my first condo and buy my first rental property with
Mhm.
tenants in it already, like learning to be a landlord, like, oh, I can call this dude to come check out the plumbing, or I could DIY it myself because I fixed my plumbing in my house. Like I got a house right now and I've been doing all this shit. So it's one of those things. There is a bar of entry. And I think that's a big
yeah,
misconception a lot of people have. Like they be like, okay, cool. I'm gonna take my 401k, put it on it. No, you make it 45K. You need to hold on to whatever you got. And I think he also talks about it in the last chapter. Hang on to your goddamn day job.
Yeah.
right.
Hold
It's
on
an
to those.
asset. We
Yeah,
talked
that's an
about it in the
asset.
last one.
Yeah, that's your insurance is coming from your company.
Yeah,
That's an asset. If
Yeah.
and we talk about, I think in chapter 5, he talks about how he bought his first Porsche. So how he was selling printers, right? So let's get into that.
from
So
his commission.
from his commission, and a
Yeah.
lot of people, I hate sales jobs because I don't think the people. I think it's because the people who come to me aren't good salesmen. And I met this kid out here. He was trying to open up a smoothie bar and something like that. And he comes up to me, he don't got his mask on. I'm like, where's your mask, bro? And it killed his whole pitch. Like you could tell he was amped and ready to talk to me. I killed his pitch right there. And I was like, come on, bro. All right, now you got your mask on, pitch whatever you want to pitch to me. And he just couldn't do it. And he had his homegirl with him. And she was like, damn, he literally outpitched you on your own shit. And I was telling him, like, if you trying to sell me something, you got 15 seconds to do it. And it ratified his ideas on it. And I was like, you could be a sourpuss about it, but you don't even got no Instagram shit on here for me to come track you. So like
You
when
ain't
you
got
get it,
15 seconds.
you got 15 seconds, bro.
You
So I
don't
was
even
just,
have 15
you
seconds.
don't really, you don't. But like me being gracious because I'm in this group now and he was a young brother. So I was trying to let him know, like, bro, you as a brother, if the white man has 5 seconds, you got 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm
So
saying. It's subconscious already in your
yeah,
head whether or not I'm gonna do it. So
exactly. So like I was like, and like the homegirl was so hilarious, the homegirl. But when he's out here selling these printers and these copiers to make his commission, what does that translate to you? What was that point in your life where you was out here hustling, bustling for this for this coin to do something else? What was that thing you were hustling for, and what was that something else you were trying to get? JB?
Man, that's been my whole career. I've been selling shit since I was. My mama tell you, I've been selling shit since I was 10 years old. If I needed money, I figure out how to sell it. It could be my shit, it could be your shit. I'm selling something. But when I got to enterprise, like as soon as I got to enterprise, I'm number one in sales because I know that's gonna make me more promotable to make more money. And that's what it's always been about. Like if I can create that recognition with the company that I'm working with, promotion comes with that, which increases my salary to a position where I can be at now. Like we can take her check and do this stuff.
So then, Black, what's yours?
Ask the question again. I was just talking to my daughter.
Black. So if you, what's something that you hustle to do in order to achieve like some minor some major like goal? Like for example, I work my job so that I have equipment for my podcast and I can put out shows. So what would be your little hustle?
Oh, that's what I did though. Like I worked some extra hours so I can buy all my landscaping stuff. When I was doing that, I bought a truck and all the landscaping gear.
Okay.
And then we use
Okay.
that.
Shay, what about you?
Mine it'd be the business I'm operating right now, SoFit Athletics. So my like Blue Cross Blue Shield is my my main gig. I'm a business analyst there, but I personal train before work, after work, weekends. So that's, and I use that extra money to kind of just, help build my other whatever, it's like if I'm for my investment group, money comes from there, my play money comes from there, down payment for a new car comes from there. So yeah, this would definitely be SoFit Athletics.
So
you put a down payment on your car?
Yeah, I put some down.
Well, I'll be telling people to not put no money down because they be trying to get motherfuckers because they try to, all the money you put down basically gonna go towards tax and stuff.
Taxes.
So after you get your car, try to put almost nothing down and then put that shit that you was gonna put down straight to your fucking car, so that way it knocks your shit off.
Well, I mean, it depends on two things.
Pay it every 2 weeks because it amortizes.
So
add more to your credit.
I just learned about that. So when I got this car 2 weeks ago, the person that helped me out with it was telling me that. But this is my second car. Like, why am I just finding out this information right now?
That's what I said when I found out on my third one. So
even with your credit cards though, if you pay a little bit more, like or you pay like 2 to 3 times a month because they run your credit, I think 3 times a month to make adjustments. Or I think it might be once a week, to be honest with you. Because my shit go up like every time I look at my shit, it'll change.
But each card, you got to just know when each card reports, and that's what I really got is like.
And then you pay twice on that shit, and then your credit score just keep going up.
Yeah, but
with doing that, in a couple months, your shit can shoot up between 90 points.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this time around. I'm definitely gonna do it. I'm gonna make payments twice a month, halfway through, and the end of the month. And when he was telling me, like, oh man, it's good information, but I wish I knew this 5 years ago. Like, why am I just hearing it now?
Yeah, you cut the interest in half on the second half of the payment.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to revisit this conversation when I go get my car because like for me it's just like the first car I got was free. I got it from the NFL, so I was like I ain't never had to buy no car.
But you can also get a lease though. Like since you only gonna be using it for work, right?
Yeah.
So if you ain't like doing no crazy traveling, get a lease.
Nah.
So that way, and then,
like, I mean, if I wanted to, but that's the thing. I don't want it to be like if I wanted to go somewhere, I gotta rent a car. Like
exactly.
But you don't want to put miles on your car though. Like for the most part, keep your value of your car at a decent value because you might want to not have it.
That's the purpose of renting a car. Honestly,
it depends on the car you have.
To keep the value of your car where it's at.
Yeah. And what type of car you get though? Because you get a car that's gonna be worth. What type of car you get, Shay?
I got a Hyundai Santa Fe.
Those are decent cars. I don't know about
the mileage.
I know they last a long fucking time.
Yeah.
But like a Charger, that's a stupid ass car to have.
No, I'm not. Yeah,
I love my Charger. How dare you?
I hate that car. I would never get another car.
You won't see me in no more cars.
After this truck, I'm getting after this car.
Yeah, this is my last. This is my last car too.
So
I'm gonna get an Explorer, and then I ain't looking back.
Hey, real talk. Ford
Ford is a trash bag company, but like
Oh yeah, they horrible.
the Bronco,
the Explorer
Oh no,
is
that's a
something else,
that's a
bro.
whole new car, bro.
the
That's a whole
Bronco,
new car. The Bronco is a whole new car, bro.
Yeah,
bro. I'm feeling that Bronco
Yeah,
and the Ram
yeah.
Charger, like, or I just might fuck around and get a Jeep
The
Wrangler,
Ram Charger.
the Ram
Come on,
Charger's an
we gonna
84.
skip over that.
I
What's
saw
the Ram
one.
Charger?
Ram Charger's old school. They got one in Texas. It's got 50,000 miles on it. I was like, I'll buy that. Oh, it's from 98 and they updated everything. I buy
all right,
that.
Kawhi Leonard.
I love the Ram Charger. I love the Ram
Cause I ain't
Charger.
never heard no shit like that.
Oh, it's old school. It was the Broncos competition for Dodge.
Okay, yeah. So no, so I'm looking at it. So that'll be a decent car. You said they got a new one,
They thinking about bringing it back in 2022.
but Dodge don't. There is no more Dodge. So you think Fiat is gonna make it?
Probably they'll probably give it to Jeep to make.
Chrysler ain't going nowhere as long
Fiat
as they
owns
got the
Jeep. So
Pacifica.
Fiat
bro.
owns Dodge. Fiat owns Jeep.
Dodge
Fiat owns a bunch of shit.
Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep is all under Fiat, but Fiat ain't staying here. They going back overseas because they don't sell well here.
Nah, they
Well,
don't.
those are nice cars though, but they already own everything that sell well here.
The Fiat, it depends on which Fiat you got. The cheaper Fiat is trash.
It's
The
trash.
cheaper, like if you're
Well,
not
see,
paying
I
over
ain't never seen
40K for your Fiat, it's garbage.
But I'm saying though,
If
like
you
they
ever
take their
drove
cars
it.
over there because
Because I work
have
in
my boys.
enterprise, bro. Like if a car, like I judge cars by how they drive when they get to 30, 40,000 miles. I got to drive so many of them. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Fiat, stay
So
away
I was
from
thinking about going to even one of these like enterprise because I know they ain't got a lot of rentals going on and they trying to sell off their lot.
They selling off their lot and they just like CarMax, so it's no haggle pricing. They do the same point inspection, everything like that. They are selling them like
Cars
crazy right
suck. So no matter what cars suck.
now. But I'm getting a Ford. I'm getting a Ford Explorer. The Ford
Get a-
Explorer is the best SUV out there.
Really?
That's not
For you.
luxury. Yes, the
Because
Ford
I'm getting
Explorer is the
when
best.
I get my truck, I'm getting a
they
Suburban.
said the Toyota RAV4 is doing really good right now. They said that's the best SUV and just based off of durability.
You talking about the
and
mini?
based off
You
performance.
go about mini SUV.
I don't include price in that. When you include price in that, that's when that stuff starts to like Toyota.
Okay.
But
Because I'm getting a fucking
when you
Suburban
talking
when
about
I finally get a truck.
when you talking about all the specs, the way it drive, the Ford Explorer got them all beat.
Maybe
I
gotta ask you.
drove
I
them
gotta
all
talk to
so
you man,
many
about what
times.
you think about the
they
Bronco.
ain't fucking with that Tahoe or that motherfucking Infinity.
I drive a Tahoe for work.
I-
I drive Tahoe for work, and I gotta admit, it's
The
not as
Tahoe
roomy.
nice too.
Tahoe's nice, but it's not as roomy as I thought. As big as I am, I thought like it'd be a little bit more roomy. It's not as roomy.
You got one of the new ones then. You must got a new one.
Yeah, it was a new one.
You need a Suburban.
That's too
I gotta
damn
have
big.
captain's chairs in the second row too.
Them motherfuckers are beautiful, bro. The new
Yeah, captain
Suburban-
chairs in the second row is nice. It's a nice feature.
That's the
Yeah.
feature to have if you get in a SUV that's not a Suburban.
I'm over here
type.
talking about. I know I'm not buying a car for another 3 years. It don't matter. Like I'm just over here dreaming about that shit.
Nah, I
But
might grab a pickup this year, claim it on my tax, so I might have it paid off next year.
well, shoot, real talk. If once I get the real estate license and I mean the LLC, I got the family enterprise already. But I told my brother Luke that I probably break off once I try and get a land in another part of Texas. And he was like, that's cool. But I put the first 3 houses on our family name. So we got something
Nice.
going for the family. But then I'll
Nice.
break off and use my comic book or my podcast LLC to buy a house or something like on that. But chapter 5, he talks about a lot more about, how he teaches finances because he doesn't like the lecture approach. Cash flow is a real game. And I want to play it now with you guys. Like I want us to, I found an online version of it. I'm gonna try and figure out how I can I'll put the board on another screen and we can all play from that screen. But I'll just move y'all pieces for y'all. But I think we should play cash flow because it teaches you how money works, how compound interest works, how the idea of growing your wealth works, and what is an asset and what is a liability. Because a lot of people don't know the difference. And he talks a little bit about that with the lady who got mad about She got the boat and she thought she was winning. and then a few turbs around. But the thing that caught me about the game is how people wait for their blessings. I would call it. If they don't have the money but they have the time, they're gonna wait till they get the money. But if they have the money but they don't have the time, they're gonna wait till they have time. How important is it for you to capitalize on whatever you have? Nothing's ever gonna be perfect. I tell that to people who want to get married or people who want to buy a house. The house is never gonna be perfect. You got to put something into it. So, JB, if we're talking about like a situation where you were waiting on something, what were you waiting on, and was it time or money that was the major factor? Like, what were you trying to wait for, and was it time or money the thing that keeping you back? What was it?
You know, it's funny. So as I was reading this chapter, I was thinking about myself and like our real estate property. Like, what was I waiting on? Now I'm waiting on time and money, because I know exactly what I want. Like I want to be able to get us a 2-unit or a 3-unit condo type of deal, townhouse type of deal that we can live in, house hack, and pay the other 2. I know exactly what we want, but the other part of that is I'm not doing that until my daughter is here, because that's just too much to do. So right now I'm waiting on both. But
It's shit too much to do. You heard what that book's saying, bro.
Look, JB, you don't have to answer that. Don't let Black influence you. Black don't got Gerber food money. He don't got Gerber food money, and he don't got babysit time. So I don't want to hear it, Black.
Baby need shoes, my brother. No,
that ain't shit.
It is on our 2021 goal sheet to get that done. But
because you're gonna pay rent regardless, right?
Yeah, it's just gonna happen at the second half of the year, because my bonus gonna come in March, and it's gonna work out the way it's supposed to work.
And what's your rent looking like
right now?
Yeah,
like $850.
Oh man, keep your house, keep your crib.
I know. That's why I've kept it this low.
Your boy can go at least. Your boy's gonna at least be a rack for a building.
Mine was
rack 400 at least.
It was $1,025. We lived in another spot. They was like, we finna raise our rent $200, and I was like, no, y'all not. So I found another spot and I moved us here.
So okay, so you was coach paying $1,025. You Gucci, so you can get a house.
I don't want to pay $1,025. I want to pay.
I'm saying though, so look, you get a building. You know how it go, nigga. One of your tenants is gonna pay for the bill, for the mortgage.
That's why I'm house
put money in your pocket.
Yeah, that's why I want 3 to 4. It's a lot of them like this. You just gotta wait for it to. I mean, I live in Bloomington, so we got a lot of extra cash. You
need to bring gas to the city, bro.
Well, I'll be there on the
wheel.
The taxes out there is way more, bro. My taxes is $2,000. I got a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom.
It depends on the house you get, because so we got 2 different. So Bloomington and then normal.
Didn't you get help with the GI though from that?
Well, what you think the GI bill do for us? People always act like they pay for shit.
We don't know. Let us know.
We don't. Hey, bro, you see how offended he just got? You see how offended he just got? Like motherfucker.
No, because people make it seem like they buy it or something. So what it is like,
tell me,
they basically co-signers, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna make sure that you can get the lowest rate your credit provides, right? So if you got okay credit, you'll get your lowest rates for that, and then fucking. You don't have to pay a down payment, and you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay a down payment. So that's the main thing. And for closing, if you can convince the person selling the house to pay a higher percentage on whatever taxes and shit, that will include closing. So, but at the end of when I went to sign closing, he had to give me a $2,000 check because he agreed to a higher percentage than what was needed.
Nice.
So I just put that shit straight into the furniture.
So, then Shay, what would be something that you are trying to do, but either money or time is holding you up? What is it?
I'm looking to buy this year, and for me, it's time. So I got engaged and married last year, so looking to buy either a 2-flat or 3-flat, which that would be ideal. Just looking for something to open up, and then. Looking for the right place, like I want something that I can possibly put a gym in the basement, so I can
look at it like I look at mine.
Exactly right, but I want to have like a full out.
Give me 4 months. Shay, give me 4 months.
I need you to have a garage.
Yeah, give me 4 months.
Garage, yeah.
Give me 4 months. I'll hook you up. Give me 4 months. I'll find that house for you, bro.
My lease is up. in this place in May. So I'm trying to find a place a little bit before that. So if you'll be ready by then, I'll definitely take advantage of your services.
Well,
bro.
I already talked to Illinois. Well, I'm talking to Illinois State, and they already telling me like,
And I
oh,
feel
you
like
a black?
the school ain't do that much for Shay because you told him for a month and it being January.
Yeah, that's it's gonna be borderline. It's gonna be close. It's
Yeah,
gonna
so
be
you
close.
got
They gonna give you month to month.
Yeah.
I'm on a 6 month right now. I did it
Oh,
to
they
myself.
let you do month to month, like after lease.
Yeah,
Especially if you paying your shit, they won't
especially
say
right
a
now.
word, bro.
Especially
Right.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now
Whoever-
they'll do whatever.
Yeah, they'll do whatever.
I'll
My
pay
landlady
weekly.
told me straight up. She's like, I will lower your shit $200 right now if you go month to month. I was like, oh, okay. I was gonna just ask for an extension, but shit, since you talking so freely,
Right.
because
Exactly.
she said she had 4 tenants, and she said she can't. She don't want to kick them out, and none of them can pay. And I was just like, so what you saying? She's like, basically, you the only one paying. And I was out here thinking like, I need to be on my rich dad, poor dad shit. Like, I can't pay you. How about that? Because you ain't kicking them out. So, but what else?
That's the
What else
fucked up
was there in
part
chapter
about this
5?
government. Because you got to pay too much, man. You got taxes is dumb to me, bro. After you own your house, you still have to pay property tax. Like that's the dumb. They don't own this land.
That's where the money
Do
is.
you own the land?
Nobody owns the land. How could you own land?
Nobody.
You only can be there until you die, or pass it down to somebody. But like, why the government got to own it? Like, why the banks got to own the land?
I'm finna get me a farm.
They sell air in Chicago.
What?
Navy Pier. They got to take tax. Remember, because they not on nobody's land.
Oh, I
It's
see
a
what you're
pier.
saying. I see what you're
It's a
saying. They're on a
pier.
pier.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
shit!
It's
I
a
never
couple
thought of
buildings
that.
downtown like that that's paying just tax on the air, bro, because they're not on nobody's
You know,
land.
there was this big thing in when we was in Arkansas. We used to collect our own rainwater to run field trace with, and they try to come and tax us off of that.
They tax that here though. That's illegal here. That's illegal here.
Yeah, it's illegal now in Arkansas. It was a big fight over it.
You can't catch snow and turn it to water. You can't catch rain and turn it to water. But that shit illegal because they have water to sell you.
Wow.
So then, what's chapter 6
crazy.
about for you guys? Or do we have something in chapter 5?
So the game. What else was in chapter 5?
The game,
That was
and
it?
well, I think chapter 6 was when he went to Singapore, right?
Hold on.
To talk to the
Chapter
reporter.
6: work to learn or work for money.
Yeah, when he went to Singapore.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I'm interested
then-
in getting the game up to play for us cash flow. I'll probably do that.
Chapter 5 is also rich invent money. So
when he talks about the parents, yeah, go ahead, talk on it.
Yeah. So he was talking about the idea of like money is basically phantom. And I've been saying this for a long time. Money is basically an agreement between two people to say yes. I've been saying this since I went to college because I've been like, where is this $50,000 coming from that they paying for such and such? And my family ain't got it. They ain't got it. You know, and you giving all these people student loans. We all owe money. And then once I started to figure out like nobody's paying this money, then I was just like, money ain't even real.
It's a figment of your imagination.
And so
That's the
and then
credit
you start
portion of
thinking
it.
about these.
As you get to the credit portion, that's when shit gets unreal. Like you got the physical form, and then you be like, all right, this can be real, but you can't really do much with it.
Yeah, it's only
Like,
real to the poor and the middle class. After you pass that point,
you can't
it's
do
not
much
real
with it.
no more because my cash, like once I've spent my cash, then you're technically in your head poor. But like I'm not. My buying power is so high, like I can buy whatever I want.
I've
really.
physically changed that thought process in myself now. From now, like ever since I started reading this book, it's no longer about like, damn, do I have this? Do I have that? It's every 14 minutes I'm making 33 cents. That's from the stock market. And that's how I think about it now. And like that's on a up market. And then when the market goes down, it is to stalemate. I'm never dropping below. It's to stalemate. So if I got to sell off to get back to stalemate, so be it. But
I wanted to tell you about this stock too while you're talking about it. It's called Genius Brands. Genius Brands.
Oh yeah, I got that on my dividends board.
You got
Genius
it? Okay.
Brand.
Yeah, they at $1.41 right now, but they gonna definitely take back off.
Hold on, let me put this in so I can make a note.
I started paying attention to those kids stuff when I had one, And then my wife is a teacher, so
Mhm.
it's like I asked her about it yesterday, and I did some research on them. But they made a deal with like this Cartoon Network channel on all Samsung TVs, um, and they do what's called Llama Llama. But
You said it's
they're a
Genius brand. Let me see if I can
gen-
pull it up on.
Genius Brands. They do what is it? They do basically like the media
Yeah,
side
there they
of
go.
it, of all the kids stuff.
Yeah, I got them. Okay, I'm making a note of this so I can put it up in the board. So then let's talk a little bit about why come they don't got no dividend yield? What's wrong with them? That's what you be needing, that dividend yield, baby. That
The
should be right.
dividend.
Because I'm a dividend investor. But so then let's go to the next chapter where he talk about Singapore, and he talks about how he's now at a point in his life where he's giving these lectures, and he talks about how he's putting on how he thinks the world, the big fish little pond syndrome that a lot of people tend to have, and he talks about how he doesn't realize he's changing because his comfort levels increase, and how he's so comfortable making these split harebrained decisions. And in 5 hours, how he took a house that was from an auction and then flipped it and sold it, and how I don't know how to do all those things, but they'll take care of that. And I didn't have to worry about this because there's a law firm for that. And he talks about how you have to be okay with jumping and diving. And when he mentioned buying that house off of foreclosure market, a lot of people inherently relate that to being poor. Going to a car auction to buy your car is not poor if you know what you're doing. If you go into a house and it's condemned, I'll take this shit, because usually all it is someone who couldn't pay. The house is fine. It's just someone couldn't pay. When you think of foreclosed, you think the doors are missing, oven's gone, like raccoons live in the attic. Like that's what you think. And that's how poor people and middle class people have been trained to think. So when we talk about this, what are some avenues that we especially as a community can take advantage of? Because this is a real life thing. Like I wouldn't have thought to go to the foreclosure courts and just stand outside and be like, "Hey, I heard you trying to foreclose. What's good?"
That's
All
what.
right, Jeremiah. I
That's
just
what.
bought jeans brand.
That's what. That's what one of my kind of real estate mentors. That was one of the first things he told me he does is he goes into the foreclosure market and he buys his houses that way. And he told me the whole process of everything he do. He's like it's a little slower, unless you flip it real quick. But what I like to do is I like to get it, go do some work in it, and just sell it myself. Um, and then the other thing I was thinking, you kind of mentioned it, like the auction market with cars. That's what one of Ashley's uncles does right now. Like he has his own car dealership type of deal, but he knows how to work on cars. Go buy a car. Somebody want to pay him 10,000, he go get it for 2,000. He go work on it and give it to him. And
Damn.
that's that. And it's a no limit law in Illinois. Not like he's selling them bad cars, but in Illinois, it's the easiest place to do it because there is a no limit law,
Yeah,
or
no, literally,
there
we
isn't a no
did that.
limit law.
We did that. Like that's how we sell. That's what our family also does too. We sell cars from America here. We buy them off the lot for 2,000 and then sell them to people in Nigeria and Africa.
Yeah.
And like shit, you pay the shipping and tax, and we'll be like, all right, $800 car from 2015, 6,000. All right, cool. Here you go. Shit. And then they'll say some shit like, "Oh, we'll fix it with our parts over here." Even better. And that means all we got to do is make sure that motherfucker can drive from that place to the shipping port, and that's it.
Just gotta turn this mug on.
Get it to neutral, baby. So
Yeah.
that's a really interesting. What did you think about the interview with the news lady and how she got upset when he told her? Who want to talk about that story? Black, do you remember that story?
What story, bro?
When he talked to the news reporter.
It's in the book.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think I catch that.
And she was mad at him because she kept saying like, I'm not a salesman. And you disrespecting writing by selling a book and all of that. And he was just trying to get her to see like,
you already a boss. You just don't believe it.
Right. You don't believe it. Like you're so skilled at this that you can sell it and make money. And it's not what was I can't think of the word she was using, but disrespectful to writing
Yeah,
or the
it
craft.
was like he was down. She felt like she was being
Right.
denigrated because she had all these fancy degrees and she worked for all these major publications, but in reality, they weren't paying her what she thought she was valued. And his self value was the lesson here. You,
Mm-hmm.
there is. I can't tell you how many times I've seen somebody's idea and been like, "I believe in you so much, I'd help you," but I don't got the tenacity to do that. And that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's a
it be like
compliment.
that.
Yeah, that's a compliment. People be
But
taking that
it's,
as an it's. It's
It's
all like
funny
I
I don't
because
can't
think
do
it,
that.
I don't
But
think
I
it's
and it's
follow
funny
you.
because I was just funny because he told her like he was like, I'm not even a great writer, but you are. But I'm a best-selling author, and you're not.
Exactly. Hey, that shit
Yeah, that's what
hurt.
I was talking about earlier. That bestseller, that best writer shit. Like, yeah, I was
That
the bestseller,
shit
like, but
hurt.
are you the best writer?
That
Nah.
shit hurt. That hurt me because that's what she got upset. She was like, because she
Yeah.
did go to. It's the irony is she went to school for that shit and she don't got a bestseller.
Yeah.
And here this man is talking about, I'm doing you better than you.
Yeah, he picked
Hey,
up her notes. He was like, "What that say right there?"
this off topic though, Hero.
Yo,
You played that Demon Soul shit.
yeah. But I mean, I
Man,
ain't
why
trying
is
to
that
finish
game so hard, bro?
all Demon Soul. That's why you just stop, bro, because they're all hard like that. They're just challenge games, bro. They're literally challenge games. Demon Souls, anything made by them, they say up front, you only gonna get past the first boss and that's it. After that, you got to be good. You got to be good at the game
Bro,
because
I ain't even made it halfway through this level.
you gonna learn real quick. Because
Now my weapons all weak, bro. Like you
I got
die,
to.
you don't get your weapon strength back. You
You got to
lose
go
everything.
back to your body. You either reload or go back to your dead body and pick them up.
And I can't buy I can't even pay to play on this.
Nope, they don't have none of that shit. But what's it called? You can find some, like if you have your online on, you can bring somebody in there to help you.
But I don't even know how to do that.
Oh shit! Let me log. You on the 5, right?
Yeah.
I log on in there, but I put that
you got
game
the
in.
5?
No, I got the 4, but I can still log on from the 4. But I played Demon Soul and got to like level 6, and I was like, no, I'm good. I'll play Batman again. I'll play Smash Brothers. I'm good.
Anything that you can win in, because that's the man.
Demon Souls, they don't
that's
want
why
you.
I play it now.
They don't want you to be good.
It's so difficult.
Yeah, they don't. They tell you on the back, we don't care if you got a disability or you got this game ain't for you. Then go play something else.
Yeah.
They
I'm there to
don't
want
care.
to change the settings to easy.
Nah, none of that. None of that.
Ain't gonna make no difference, he said. Ain't no easy.
Ain't no easy.
Hey, I'm looking now. I don't think it is no easy.
It isn't. It's just hard and harder.
Yeah. This game is ridiculous, Shay. Don't buy this.
Yeah, noted.
Yeah, you're gonna be mad. That $60 you ain't gonna get back.
Man, I get every time I buy a game, I go deluxe.
Man, it's a good game. It's good, but it's
It's
hard.
cold. But
It's
yeah,
hard.
this ain't I'm gonna beat it though.
Okay, tell me because that's gonna be one trophy you got on your shit that I don't.
Back to it, yeah. But
Where
yeah,
is
man,
where we at for 7?
we just got done with the best writer versus best seller shit.
Yeah. So then,
Oh yeah, I
7.
want to talk about that real quick. It's funny that I haven't gotten to that point yet, but when you say that, it reminds me of like with what I'm doing right now with being a personal trainer. It doesn't matter how knowledgeable you are. There are people who have no background, no experience, but they have 100,000 followers who are willing to buy a e-training document for $1 a month, and they make it easily. Just making $50,000 just like that. Just by a platform where they have 100,000 followers. So it just goes to show it doesn't really just because you're an expert.
It's a clout thing, bro. That's why we telling my boys about Forex. Like the more clout you got, if you're not gonna be focused on the learning portion of that, you need to focus on the recruiting portion. Because
I saw that you followed me on YouTube, Shay. So I appreciate that. But like I be telling people all the time, all I need is to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then if 10% of my followers watch my videos, I'm getting paid $60 per video.
I
That's
put
not
out a
bad.
video every week. I mean, I put out 5 videos every week.
Yeah.
So for me, I already know the game. It's just you just gotta be okay with people coming to that level. And I
Yeah.
think it's so important, especially black people, because whenever we do shit, it becomes popular, but we don't like charging people for our shit, just
Yep.
for our being in our space. Like
Yeah.
I saw this one Instagram model. She's a gorgeous girl, but she don't get nearly the follows her white counterparts get. And I told her, you keep trying to sell your shit to black people. You're already cool. We are cool people. You got to
Yeah.
sell it to a bunch of people who don't think they cool. And as
Yeah.
soon as she started wearing some floral outfits that Becky and Rebecca would like to wear, her shit went through the roof. And I was just like, it be like that. So like, man, I be all here talking about politics, even though I talk from black perspective. What is my tagline? I'm here to identify with you as you identify with me, man. We all in it together. That speaks to white people, and I like that. We got some great allies. I love my white people on YouTube. But chapter 7 digs a little bit deeper into these concepts. How did y'all feel about chapter 7, Black?
You said it goes into the politics shit, the politician
Yeah,
shit.
the
On 7?
politician shit.
So like, man, it's basically like you understand that because being so into politics, you learn that if you ain't got no buying power, you ain't got no word. So it's like people, we can say what we want, do we want, but if we can't afford to make them actually lose their job, they don't really give a fuck about what we got to say.
What about you, JB? What did you pull from chapter 7?
I mean 6 and 7,
Kind
both
of
of
fault,
them
yeah.
kind of going into like one understanding because he pulled the back in the 4 laws, I believe, in
Yeah, he
7.
pulled them back in at 7. He says it
and
again.
and I think is for both of them, for me, and I'm gonna get off base a little bit, but
Run
for
with
me,
it.
like I started thinking a lot, and my wife, she's really not loving teaching a lot, but her biggest thing about the teaching is the schedule. So what I did, I've been kind of planting the seed a little bit about accounting, because an accountant that works for themselves from January to about April, pretty busy, got the summers off like she do, and then from about October to December, same deal. But for me, it's kind of a selfish thing behind it too for both of us, because we want the same things, but I don't have the time to understand accounting like that, right? So it's just like understanding how I can use all these different assets and pieces to learn how to get my money to work for me, because I want to know all of it, from the law side, accounting side, financial advising side. Like I want to know all of it. How can I want to miss nothing.
So yeah, I think that's a great point, because like when I was looking at here, accounting is definitely my weakest strength right now. But I feel like
Yeah.
it's just because I haven't played enough with it. And then I know the law pretty well because I got a master's degree in it. And then I have investing from the stocks financial part, and then marketing because of branding and what I do with the podcast and just understanding from more. But accounting has to be my weakest part. Even the logistics and the linguistics of it is just baffling to me a little bit. So it can be seeming intimidating, but the fact is I can do accounting math on a napkin. Like this isn't difficult math. It's not algebra. It's not trigonometry. I could do calculus, but it's still amazing to me when you get this APR, this PE ratio and stuff like that. People's eyes start to open up, and it's like, bro, just relax. It's this is how
Just
much you owe.
numbers.
This is how much you owe. Like,
I
relax.
think he said that in the book too. Like it's
Yeah.
not even that complex. It's just numbers. Just
Yeah,
relax.
he was like, if you could do college algebra, you can be an accountant. I was like,
Yeah,
bullshit. You're like, no, they just talk
you can.
fast, but it's not above algebra.
It depends on what type of account you're doing though. Because
It's
And
that
that's what I
little
was saying.
interest.
Like when you're dealing with $1 million accounts and you have to talk about the percent of a percent, I think that's a little bit more technical than people want to give it credit for. Like I'm
It's
taking no
still
disrespect.
no. It's still math though. At the end of the day, like
Yeah.
I, when I go through kind of my interns with their math and their compensation, it's just a new way to look at math and how you compensate it. So it takes a lot of them. Shit, I've still be counting 4 or 5 weeks. Some of them months. Some of them are agents and still don't know how they get paid because you don't you're not taking the time. Like you so overwhelmed by all the numbers and everything. But like if you just sit down and look through it, like it's not that complex.
No, definitely.
And
Chapter
just
seven, chapter
learn.
7, chapter 6, I feel like are definitely rereads. And chapter 7 kind of folds into itself.
I say 4 through 7.
4 through 7 is that like don't when you're reading this, especially these chapters, take your time, and if you can reread it again because they fold on each other and they talk about each other, but the lesson, and he talks about it in cash flow. Don't miss the lesson. You killed the messenger, but did you get the message? Like, and I read through this the first time I didn't get the message, and not even till some of you guys repeating some of the lines, I was like, damn, that's what he meant by that. Like it flew over my head. And I think it's really about it, the Robin Hood story was critical in the tax, understanding that story, how Robin Hood isn't a good person, but we are trained to believe he's doing the right thing. Being rich isn't rich doesn't make you a bad guy. Being rich, being rich just means you understand who the bad guy is.
And to that point, and you see it a lot in our community. Even my wife was kind of this way. Like you, I think a lot of us do think the rich is the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
That and like, oh, I don't want to be rich. Until she met me, and she like, I started explaining to her like what it means to be rich, what it looks like, how you get there. Like, I don't have to step on anybody's toes to be rich. We just have been convinced that that's what we got to do in order to get rich.
Yeah.
Is be cutthroat, be ruthless, be this and be that. No, I don't. I just have to be smart.
I love
That's
what
it.
I do. I love that I get to cut people open and like give them a second chance at life. That shit is amazing to me. I wouldn't trade that. Like, of course, getting on the damn jet and traveling across the country to pick up a heart that don't work and then coming back like, okay, empty-handed. That shit sucks. But like, I love what I do. But like, if somebody told me like, yo, you could pay for 2 doctors to go to school if you gave up this job and focused 100% on what we need you to focus on. Yeah, I'm saying goodbye to this shit. Yeah, it's just because it's more advantageous for me. I can make 2 doctors that look like me versus me. Fuck yeah.
Mhm.
It's more advantageous. And it means, and he says something in the book that I think a lot of people also oversee. He says, I wouldn't wish being a business owner on anyone. 9
Yeah.
out of 10 of them fail, and 1 out of those 10 fail in 5 years. So in 10 years, that's half of a percent. And I compared that to like your chances of getting to the NFL after playing in college. 1 in a million. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
we launch even just kind of we think about it at an intern's perspective of what I do, and we've had them ask like, well, why do y'all launch so many agents per year? And it's because, and we got to be honest, like there's a top percentage, there's a middle tier, and that's a lot of y'all just not gonna make it. Like we can teach you and show you everything that kind of come along with being a business owner, but there's a discipline that goes behind that, and then there's just the willingness to be able to take the things that suck and figure out how to make it better. And I always tell all of them like success and failure are both hard, and when you failing, like it sucked, but you got to be able to take that and like figure out the lesson behind it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna take and like kind of leave this chapter 7 with, is because I think next week we're finishing the book.
Hmm.
Hmm. And I don't know why we did it that way. I don't know why y'all chose to do it that way, especially since these chapters are a year
Well,
long.
Yeah.
well, I don't know. I just kind
Well,
of roll
Black, you
with
could
whatever I
do the
saw.
chapter arrangement for the Obama book. How about that?
Well, shit, we got February. At least we got 4 weeks. Like February is set up next month. That it starts and ends with a full week. So Sunday, we got the whole motherfucking month.
Yeah.
So, but February 1st is a Sunday.
All right. All right. All
I
right.
would say
Oh
one
no, it's
thing
a Monday.
before you close up though, Hero. One thing
Yo.
I think the big one, another big part that he was trying to teach about this book is being able to be humble enough and open enough to ask and receive information. Like he touched on his rich dad. He did it briefly. He said, "My rich dad." That's why he's willing to pay this amount of money to accountants and lawyers and everything because it keeps the tax man off his back. But a big part of that is just the whole book is him being open to learning a new lesson from what he was previously taught.
Black people, and I can speak for Black people. We have this inferiority complex where it's like for us to talk about business, like for us to talk about, I want a new car, but I can't afford it. A lot of Black people would cap on that moment, like, I got it, but I don't want it. No, motherfucker, let's be real. You got a nice car, it's an asset. You don't got the money. Just be real. Like, you don't gotta sit here and stuff. Oh yeah, I want the newest model. You go and buy a car from 2018, bro. Stop. Like, we have the ability to be vulnerable as Black men talking about finance. Like, a lot of guys don't say, let me put y'all guys on game. The reason why your relationship ain't working is because you can't talk about money comfortably in front of your girl, period. You can't just say, I don't got it. Hey, that restaurant that you like going to is not in the budget this month. You don't got the balls to say that to her. And it's not because you're afraid she's going to leave you. It's because you're afraid of how she might look at you. The truth is, my mentality is, I got 10K savings, 200 in the accounting. I am broke. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear nothing. If we can't go to Georgino's down the street, I don't want to hear nothing about going to no Lux on Navy Pier. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you got to be comfortable talking about your finances with your partner. And a big part of that is being comfortable as a man, acknowledging your limitations. We told you the bar entry. With 75K, you can't do this. You can't execute this strategy right now if you're not making 75K. Could you do it with 50K? You be the person to prove it to us. But we're telling you our bar of entry. And I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with. So this chapter was just really about being vulnerable. You're absolutely right, JB. But unless anybody got something else they want to throw, we can close out this chapter.
No, I just read a book. It's called Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. I read it about a year ago.
Bro, nobody want to hear about all these books you keep talking. You keep telling us about.
It talk about that vulnerability though. It talk about that vulnerability. It makes a lot, like a huge difference. It's something I'm still working on. Just to be like, I ain't got it, or I don't want to do it, because you work so hard to be able to feel like you can. But Keisha, sometimes you just got to be patient.
One of the supporters of our podcast, Keisha, she said a few books for us to read. She says Mr. Coates is writing what's the book called? It says Between the World and Me by Tanisha Coates. Is a good book. And she talks about another book by David Rand. It's called Killers of the Flower Moon. And it talks about how the Oklahoma massacre in a different perspective.
I want to see it. I want to read that one.
So we got a lot of suggestions coming up.
I got that Coates book upstairs.
Oh,
I was looking for it on my bookcase, but yeah, it's upstairs.
Have you already read it?
No, my wife read it. It's her book.
Okay. All right, but yeah, we got the last chapter for this. Hopefully I'm moved up and everything. I don't know if I'll be able to. If I can join you guys tomorrow, but I probably will be a little tied up. But I'll probably be on my phone, so I'll just start the meeting from my phone. But I'll be on some virtual shit. But my goal is to be set up at the crib at least bare minimum with this stuff, and then it's off to that rat race, until we can get off that wheel. But other than that, what else is on our minds, fellas? We good?
We good.
Black is really mad about his demon souls.
He mad as hell.
I'm playing right now. Actually, look, I'm playing right now. I get my ass whooped.
Yeah, we could tell.
You can tell. I see it on your face.
I ain't really dying like like a normal, but.
How's that running outside shit? JB, every time I see you run outside, I just get the thrills to go hit some bleachers at North real quick. Like, man,
today was the hardest day, I'll tell you.
Why?
That I've been through. I don't even know. I think it was just because I slept in longer than I normally do, and I just been feeling kind of behind all the morning, but I'll get over that.
What about you, Shady, man? You was out there.
I didn't get up this weekend. That's why I didn't get to read the book.
Good. Yeah, this weekend was my two close friends, Elijah Barry. Their birthday was this weekend. So I'm watching the Ravens, Titans, and I just need Lamar Jackson to get his stuff together, man.
I just need him to
It's
win a
the
game. Just win this game. That's
Exactly.
it. Just win the game. I don't. Man.
Bro, just win this one, G. That's all I
Lamar
want.
Jackson is suffering from what we call rookie fatigue.
Well, people forget. No, go. I was just gonna say people forget he's still younger than Joe Burrow. Like
Yeah.
he's not that old.
Yeah,
He's very young.
But like with the quarterbacks like him, I feel like Mike Vick had a long career, but I don't know how long he's gonna be this spectacular. So I just want him to capitalize while he can. I want to see him be the best version of himself.
he got to learn how to sit in the pocket. The best.
They got to give him some receivers, man. Like
that too.
You got to give him people that can beat one-on-one coverage.
I told that to someone. I told that about Tua. I was like, Tua's not a good quarterback. Tua has good receivers. All 4 of his receivers went in the first round. Tua's not a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback with great receivers.
Yeah.
And that's why his ass is at home watching his great receivers right now.
Justin Fields might be on his way down there. They talking about Deshaun Watson trying to get there too, trying to swap them.
Yeah,
so
Justin Fields.
I just want Watson to get out of that hellhole he in. He could have easily been in Chicago, but we're not gonna get into that.
He should have been in Chicago.
You know what we should need to do? We need to make a LLC that's hell bent on fixing the front office of the Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears.
I wouldn't sleep.
Fixing Chicago sports
sleep
in general.
I wouldn't sleep if we could do that. Like, what does that look like? You got me thinking.
I bring you the ideas, man. Y'all just gotta help me put that shit together.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I wouldn't sleep working on that idea. How do I fix Chicago sports, the business?
Right, the business. Oh, that'd be hilarious. I don't know. I'm gonna try and catch some of these games, but because we're bringing back sports on our podcast, so I'm trying to see when's the best time for us to start going back to posting every week. But I got 27 videos on queue, so I'm ready for my move day. So I'm at least just in case I'm down. But yeah, Lamar Jackson just win one game, bro. I wore the Baltimore hat yesterday too for his ass.
Just win one, man. You know how they talk about us.
Exactly.
You know just win one.
And if he can pull this one off, he gonna see Mahomes next round, and Mahomes is probably the Chiefs are just a better team overall.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I just want him to get one. Let's get out this round, Jay.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was just talking to one of my coworkers about that weight. I know he feels that weight because he know how they talk about us. And I was just telling one of my coworkers, you get to come to work and you get to work for yourself. Maybe your last name a little bit because your dad worked here. But I'm working for an entire community.
Exactly.
Some white dude trying to tell me it's not your responsibility to represent the black community. I'm that's some white people shit to say to me.
That's a choice. Exactly. That's the only choice we get to make. But if we make the choice to not represent our community still suffers for it. So it's technically not a choice.
It's not a choice. I'd be like, whether I like it or not, I both Jeti, Nigerian, that. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm black, period. Yeah. So I gotta hold it down. Even when Daquan fucking up, I'm fucking up. That's how I look at it.
Exactly.
Yeah. We all feel that. Y'all seen them dudes acting up at the Capitol and was easily able to separate yourself.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
They're right wingers. I voted for Obama. Nobody asked you all that.
Y'all see, let that have been a bunch of black people. That was my cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody come to me
I agree with what they was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, all black people agree on all issues again.
Yeah. Somebody come up to me and tell me what's going on in Ferguson. I feel what your people are doing. My people.
I'm agreeing with everything.
Bro, I'm from Texas.
Well, black people choose. I agree with all that shit.
I always told people up front, hey, I burned down 10 targets to save one black man. Easy. No, easy. Not a decision. It's not a decision. Yeah. And when they say
nothing to think about.
Your Honor, why'd you do it? Black Lives Matter. I'll take my 25 to life. Thanks.
Peace. Yeah, I was gonna find a way to lock me up anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But everybody low key happy because Biden and company getting in there during the Biden Obama administration. They let out 238 non-violent offenders and protesters. So
They
All
better
these
give
people-
our motherfucker 2,000, boy.
Hey, tell me why they
Start
mailing
there.
that shit. So they mailing me a $40 check, which is already pissing me off. But I got the first check in my account. Now they mailing me the second one.
Yeah, same thing happened to Jasmine too. Her first one was direct deposit, but now they saying it's in the mail. That's weird. I don't know why that is, but that's strange.
Can't fight them, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just
I
happy
don't
they
know,
helping
but
some people
somewhere
that
I'm
need it.
missing six. I don't know, but somewhere I'm missing $600. I don't know how. I don't know where. Somebody told me I ain't getting it, which is fine, but I want $600.
See,
My wife got it. My daughter got it. I want my six.
Right.
I know
You
I
at least you got
knew I
three
wasn't
'cause your
gonna get it
daughter.
because I got that Toronto money still flowing on my shit. But but because I was a student this year, hey, if we get 2 checks next year, this year, hey, run me everything, fam. I
Yeah.
want everything
Right.
the student got.
Give me my bread. Y'all don't get to count my pockets. Y'all taking Rich Dad Poor Dad told me I'm working 5 to 7 months just to pay y'all. Just to
Exactly.
pay the tax man. Y'all don't get
Amen.
to tell me how much money coming in my
I'm
house.
really serious about switching over my LLC so I can start right. Because if I do buy these, like, okay, would it be mortgage fraud if you bought a house on your company?
Nope.
No.
No, okay.
It probably will be, but we'll see.
You'd have to call it an office.
The house you live in? The house you live in?
Yes.
No.
Wouldn't would you have to call a room in your house?
Maybe a room in your house is an office.
Yeah,
but it's
room
not
in your house.
Yeah. I seen a non-for-profit pull up in a Benz truck. So it's a way around
that's
it.
probably I gotta quit. I gotta start me a new dude.
Yeah,
Ain't
next
no
year's
way
tax
no
books.
non-for-profit should
Even
have
just
no
dealing with the
Benz
stock
truck.
market, because I'm up in the stock market, but I'm definitely about to use the 600 that I bought. That's a hell of a pass, my guy. Hell of
That
a
is a
pass.
hell of a pass, man.
Good God.
Yikes. I was out,
Good
man.
God.
Man, that pick you just threw was a terrible pass because the receiver was open. So when Jeremiah was saying he need better receivers, I was like, yeah, but sometimes he just gotta throw better balls.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes every quarterback sometimes be
Yeah.
making those
Yeah, true,
be making
true.
those throws where you be like, even Mahomes, like if you look the numbers say he throws it to the other team at least twice a game.
Yeah,
Like Brett Favre, they
Brent
just drop
Favre,
it.
Brent Favre was
Brett
identical.
Favre did it all the time. Like
Yeah.
it happens. Like
In the
you
Super
go
Bowl,
because
in 2007, he literally threw not 2007, 2003. He literally threw a touchdown before to the other team. Brett
Dang.
Favre.
yeah, that's what I mean. Brett Favre is actually, if you really look at his career, all those comeback victories are the holes that he dug his team into because he was throwing
Right.
picks.
He dug him in
Hey,
and brought him out. Yeah.
what was your boy name on the gargoyle? The lead gargoyle.
The Gargoyles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember their names. I know the show you're referring to.
I
I
can
can't
Google
One
it. Hold on.
Gargoyle?
You don't remember the gargoyles, nigga?
No, I'm saying his name wasn't Gargoyle.
Boy,
I don't know.
The character's name. I'm on Wikipedia. It's like Lago or
Goliath.
Yeah, there it is.
I
There's
knew it started with a
Dominic.
G.
Yeah,
Man,
Goliath.
it's some gargoyle. It's Goliath. Cause that's what I'm about to create. Cause I'm creating a new dude. Cause my weapons was too weak to make it past that level.
Black over here reevaluating his characters. Black out here reevaluating his characters because of this shit.
Man, that shit is ridiculous. Hold on, wait. I had a barbarian. His strength was man, what? His strength was only 15. I have him thinking he's a strong motherfucker, but the Temple Knight is fucking just as high. His strength is 14?
All right, y'all fellas.
We just did a catch up, bro.
Yeah, I gotta go do husband duties.
Oh man, sound like a blessing.
You already know.
You gotta go eat, nigga.
That too.
Cereal getting soggy.
Yeah, man, we'll rendezvous.
I got 2
We'll go
wives
finish.
upstairs. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we're
sister.
gonna finish the book.
So I'll be with y'all next week too.
Yeah, we'll finish up next week, man. I appreciate y'all.
All right, players.
All right, take it easy.